The PlayStation 5 showcase got me so excited to buy the new console, maybe in 1 or 2 years. The first game that we see is Final Fantasy 15, I mean 16. Well, the combat really looks like the same combat as in 15. You flash all over the place spamming one button until you have no idea what the fuck is happening on the screen. You don't waste your time with any kind of strategy, you get less fantasy, less crazy and creative stuff, but we get a game that looks more real. Look, if I want reality and spamming one button over and over, I will just go in the woods and hit a tree with a stick over and over. That will be more fun, it will look more awesome, and it will be free. I can already smell the boring side quests reaching a checkpoint just so you can get to the next checkpoint, but it's not boring, because look how real and cool the game looks. I hope I am wrong, but Final Fantasy is trying so hard to be less creative, and any strategy that it's left in their game, it's kind of gone. Spider-Man Miles Morales. This game is Spider-Man DLC, sold as a new game. The game looks the same, the gameplay is the same. I just hope they gave Miles more than I expect. Spider-Man is the only Sony exclusive that I sold after I finished. The gameplay is fun, the main story is kind of okay, but knowing how much time and money was spent to fake the game into being longer made me mad, and I felt like they took a shit on the good stuff they created. Mary Jane was ugly, annoying and boring. You got a lot of stupid and boring collectibles and side missions. I wanted to replay the game and buy the DLC, but after I saw that they added more and more useless stuff, the more that I play, I got really mad and I barely finished the game. I hope Miles Morales is more than a DLC, with no useless side quests and collectibles. I also hope they will give him a new and interesting personality. But I keep my expectations very low. The next game is Hogwarts Legacy. If you are a big Harry Potter fan, I guess this game is made for you. I didn't see a story and gameplay, and it's hard for me to care for a cinematic trailer. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. I don't care for playing shooters on the console, so let's skip this one. What can you say? It's a Call of Duty game, I don't care that much, and I don't need or want a console to play. Oh yeah, you can play the alpha, starting now. If I want to be a tester for a game, I will go work as a game tester again. And I will get paid to test the game, not the other way around. I don't want to play a game that it's in alpha or beta. I play games that are finished. Resident Evil Village. Resident Evil 8 looks scary, but I have no idea how the game will be because we don't see real gameplay. I love the world they created, the scary vibe, but I still want to see more gameplay to like it. It feels like the game is made to be more like a scary movie and not so much gameplay. I think I will like the game, but it's still too early to be sure. Deathloop, a game that never managed to make me interested. The gameplay is not that impressive, it looks like it will get boring fast. The story doesn't seem to exist. Maybe I am wrong, but I feel like it will be a game that everybody will forget about in a few days after launch. Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition. Oh yeah, the game that Sony censored. You may say, what's the big deal? They just put some lights so you don't see that ass. Hey, if a developer wanted me to see a sexy ass in a very violent game, then I want to see that ass, and fuck Sony for stopping me. This is the reason I made a new PC and started to buy my games on PC. Sony said they support more censorship, and that's the day I stopped buying games on my PlayStation 4 Pro. I don't play games to see ass, but I also don't and will never pay Sony to force developers to censorship stuff in games, no matter if it's ass, words, violence or other stuff. I'm over 18, so if a game is made for a mature audience, then why the fuck we need so much censorship? I don't buy mature games and expect it to be a game for kids. So violence is okay, but words and nipples or ass is way too much for Sony. Fine by me, Nintendo said they will show me all the ass I want. I don't buy my games for that, and most of the games that I love don't contain that. But god damn it, I love that Nintendo lets me have all the options I want and probably don't need. So yeah, I will buy Devil May Cry 5 for PC. So let's skip some of the games, I don't feel like I need to talk about them. Demon's Souls. This is the game that made me very interested, but I don't need a PlayStation 5 to play it. I think Spider-Man is the only game that I need a PlayStation 5 to play it, so yeah, I probably will play it on PC. PlayStation Plus Collection. This is a collection of games that will be available on the PlayStation 5 if you have a PlayStation subscription. Be aware because they say that some titles may vary by country, so I'm not sure if some games will be unavailable for you. I already have all the games that I care for, so this is not that impressive for me. Also, you can play games only as long as your subscription is active. I don't know why I'm making things complicated. It's just a PlayStation subscription, but if you own a PlayStation 5 you will get more games because you don't really have games that you can play on the PlayStation 5, so they want to give you content until you have more games added to the PlayStation Store for the PlayStation 5. And finally, the price. The PlayStation 5 is $500, and if you don't want the one with the disc, it's $400. And at the ending we see that God of War Ragnarok will be released in 2021. So you need a PlayStation 5 if you want to play Spider-Man Miles Morales, and that's it. You will not see big improvements if you already have a PlayStation 5 Pro. If you want to play the Miles Morales Spider-Man DLC, I know it's not a DLC, but let's be real, it is a DLC. It should be a DLC. Then you need to buy a PlayStation 5, but you will not see a big difference in quality, maybe just less loading screens. So it's up to you if less loading screens deserve $400 or $500. I hope a lot of people will get a console, because then a lot of people will sell the console at a low price when they will get bored. So in 1 or 2 years I will get the PlayStation 5 for the exclusives. The price will be lower, I will get more games available and at a lower price. I will find out if there are any problems with the hardware and if a new slim version will be available. I also want to see how things will continue with Sony censorship. Nintendo will release a Nintendo Switch 2 that supports 4K, and maybe it will have fewer problems than the Switch that I have right now with unstable FPS. So what do you think? Did Sony come with an offer that you can't refuse? Sony has the exclusives, but many will be available next year. Xbox doesn't have that, but the Xbox Pass with around 100 games that you can play on Xbox or PC is a great offer. It's something that we don't know if it will be available for everybody and what limitations you have. The only game that I'm interested in is Cyberpunk 2077, and that's the main reason that I brought a new PC. A shooter works best on PC, and I want to buy the game on GOG so that Cyberpunk gets all the revenue. For me, the PC will be the best option for now. I also already have my Nintendo Switch and the PlayStation 4 Pro for the exclusive and the games that I didn't manage to finish. I don't want to continue with the PlayStation 5 because of the censorship that Sony insists on supporting, so maybe I will buy the console used after more interesting exclusive will be available. God of War, I think, is the game that I'm interested in playing on the PlayStation 5, but I need to see more gameplay and story. Now at the end of the video I realized that Sony didn't give me a reason to care for the PlayStation 5 at release, but maybe that's because I stopped supporting the PlayStation since the Devil May Cry 5 censorship started. That's the day that I stopped buying games for my PlayStation. I don't know, maybe I care too much about these kind of things. But that's who I am, I just don't like censorship, even if I don't really want to see ass and tits and stuff like that in my video games. I just want the decisions to be made by the developer, not by Sony. Anyway, in the end I only care about the games and if they're fun, if they have an interesting story, and I don't really care about what console I play them on or stuff like that. So leave a comment if you agree, if you don't agree. Tell me what you think about all of this, what games that you like, what would you want to play, if you prefer to play it on a console or on PC, what kind of console, stuff like that. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe.